Hi everyone, it's Penny Black and Jill Foster here with another PB&J card class video. This is number 10 in our Share Your Love Stash Busting Sketches video series, which is a great selection of card designs and sketches and products that can be used to send loving wishes to someone any time of the year. So let's take a look at this sketch today. This is a really versatile sketch which you can use with lots and lots of different products that you want to put. So you're basically creating your own little snail mail right there on the front of your card. So I like to prepare my basic sketch items in advance, and this helps me kind of move past any resistance I might have in the future to getting started. And I'm using Penny Black's exquisite envelope stamp and cutout here to create these elements. So I went ahead and pre-stamped those and pre-cut out those little pieces that can go inside of the envelope. And then I've also used our zigzag stackers to create that stitched edge for those panels. So I prep about 3 or 4 for each one of the sketches and keep them in an envelope. So here's another reminder that all of the sketches included in this Share Your Love series are put together in an ebook for you with a 2-page spread for each video. So you can easily see the sketch, product ideas for getting started, as well as the cards featured in the video. And I think seeing them all together helps you see the different ways you can use them. So I'm going to put a link down in the YouTube description box below if you'd like to check out that ebook and show your support. So I'm going to now stamp what I want to be on those little pieces of paper, like the letters coming out of the envelope. And that's where I think this sketch can be so versatile. You can put anything that you want on these little pieces of paper coming out. It could be a sentiment that you want to feature, it could be an image, it could be elegant, it could be cute. Whatever you have in your stash that you want to get used or that you love or that's new and you want to get it onto a card, you could use with this sketch. Went ahead and stamped all of those, and now I'm going to go ahead and paint them in. So I'm working assembly line style. Everything has been stamped and cut out from Canson 140-pound watercolor paper. That's a cold pressed paper. And I'm going to paint these in using Distress Ink Reinkers used as watercolors. I've also pressed my Memento Toffee Crunch ink pad onto an acrylic block there, which I'm using for this just very light neutral and shadow on the image here. This is from Penny Black's new Cuteness stamp set, and it is so cute. And again, these cards have a sort of a love theme to them, but you can use them any time of year for encouragement, birthday love, anniversary, wedding, just simple friendship cards or hugs, just because, or thinking of you. And I love how versatile they are. You can get a lot of use out of them. I'm doing very simple painting here. This is done stamped with watering can Archival ink, and so I can just do very simple coloring on it, and the illustration, the cuteness of the illustration does all the work. I will list all of the supplies that I'm using down below in that YouTube description box. That includes links to all of the Penny Black stamps, dies, everything. And then I also have a list down there of all the supplies I'm using. So if you want to know ink colors or paper or paintbrush or Reinker colors, all of that is listed for you down below. Just doing some very basic flat wash of color on these little hearts. And I am going to do a little bit of a background here. So I'm just putting down some water first. Then I will pick up some of that Reinker ink and put that down wherever I had the water. That gives me just some time to sort of move and blend that before it will dry. It will move and blend out wherever it is wet, but it also will keep from getting like a really dark spot right where I put the brush down. So I just wanted like a really light haze behind this so it had a finished look. Then if I want to darken it up, I can, well, it's still wet, just drop in more color. Or here I started with evergreen bough and now I'm adding a little broken china so it has more of a blue look. If I want to lift any color, I just go in with a drier paintbrush and I can lift it up, and then I can also just put water around that sort of wet edge or that working edge to help it sort of blend out into white. Now the bottom part of this will be tucked into the envelope, so I'm not going to do too much down there. And I'll dry that with my heat tool. I'm going to grab a Faber-Castell PITT Artist pen and an extra small journaling tip just to go over and just darken up some elements there on the face. I think that gives it a finished look. And then this is the other little piece of paper that I cut to be like another letter coming out of the envelope. And for me, it's just an opportunity to add some more color and to layer some other elements on top of it. So I'm going to just go ahead and paint that. You certainly could just trim that from colored paper, or you could cut it from pattern paper. That would be really pretty too. Here is the envelope. So I am just going to add some color to this. And I just wanted to go with really bright, happy colors on this set of cards. Now, I really love sketches like this because I find they're a great way for me to use my stash, as they just automatically give a home for whatever is in my stash. So, for example, with this sketch, you can reach for anything to fill that piece of paper that's coming out of the envelope. It could even be Christmas themed, just whatever you want to create. So here is a look at what I have so far. I also have some die cuts there that can be coming out of the envelope. So you can see I worked assembly line style, working on those same elements for each one. And then I just felt like they needed something a little bit more. So I went back into my stash box, and these are actually from that exquisite envelope stamp set. And I went ahead and stamped those and am going to paint them. So don't feel like, if you're working assembly line style, if you want to jump a step or go back and add something, that you can't. That assembly line is sort of there just to keep you moving without kind of take away a barrier and the pressure of the blank card. But you can always go back and add more things or dig something out that you didn't have handy. And that is exactly what I'm doing here with these flowers and leaves. I just wanted more to be coming out of those envelopes. There's such a great opportunity just to add so much fun, like a burst of happiness when someone opens up their real envelope and sees this card, sort of bursting with different items and images coming out of that envelope, stamp and die. So I went ahead and cut those out. I'm going to put a little bit of Memento Toffee Crunch ink on the edges of these pieces. Then I'm also going to take that zigzag stacker die. I'm going to fit it back inside of there, and I'm going to hold it. And then I'm also going to put just a little bit of that Memento Toffee Crunch ink around the corners, using that as kind of a stencil. So it's the die itself, but it is a stencil when you use it that way. So just another way you can add a little bit of inking. And then I'm ready to start assembling. I've also stamped my sentiments onto those panels with the main images. I just adhere that using some plain old Scotch tape, and then these I'll do with some foam squares for a little added dimension. And you can just slide those right in there. This I'll put a little liquid glue. And And then I will put some foam tape on the back of this to add it to that die cut panel. I can't remember if I said this, but these are all standard size 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch A2 size cards. I'm just going to double that up so the dimension is even behind that piece. So here is a still shot of that finished card, and then I'll give you a look at all three together. This is also a great sketch to follow if you have some smaller images that you're just trying to find a way to get them onto a card but have it be big enough to look complete. This is another way that you can do that. So here's the one we just made together, and then some variations. On this one I've just added some die cuts coming out from the inside, more elegant styled images. And then again this one, just another cute image there. I love that little girl. So which one is your favorite? I'd love to know. Leave me a comment down below. And another reminder that this video is part of a series of sketches created to help you bust through your stash. So if you want to see how I did all of my pre-preparation, if you just landed here, you want to see how I set up my stash and my sketch boxes, it's a really helpful system for getting in there and using what you have. I'll link to that video down in the YouTube description box below. Thanks so much for watching, and subscribe so you don't miss the last video coming soon in this series.